Hello students, myself Jyoti Gagre and in this semester I am going to teach you two different courses. First one is real analysis and second one is advanced calculus. So I think you all are familiar with your syllabus. So let's we directly start to our first course which is real analysis. And for this course we are going to use this book which is a book of real analysis written by H.L. Roydin and P.M. Fitzpatrick. This is the fourth edition of this book. So in real analysis we discuss about three different chapters. First one is Lebesgue measure, second one is Lebesgue measurable function, and the last chapter is differentiation and integration. So let's we start our first chapter which is Lebesgue measure. So in Lebesgue measure, so first we see introduction. Where is the use of Lebesgue measure? So the Lebesgue measure is the branch or the extension of classical notions of length and area to the more complicated set. It is the branch of mathematics which gives a standard way of assigning measure to the subset of n-dimensional Euclidean space. That is, Lebesgue measure or measure theory is the branch of mathematics developed to find the dimension of complex or complicated set. The main goal of measure theory is to convert the given complicated set or its domain into different subsets or in simple form and then discuss the dimension on each of the following or converted subset. So it is simple to discuss the dimension of each subset rather than the dimension of the whole set. So next we will see the definition, and which is the definition of length of interval. So what is the length of interval? So let I be a non-empty interval which is bounded interval of real numbers. We define its length denoted by length of I or L of I to be a difference between its endpoints. So what is the length of interval? So for bounded interval its length is difference between its endpoint, and if I is unbounded then its length is infinity. For example, if we consider length of closed interval AB, then its length is, this interval is closed and bounded interval, so its length is difference between endpoint which is B minus A. Now if we consider length of open interval AB, this interval is also bounded which have upper bound B and lower bound A, so its length is difference between endpoints. If we consider semi open or semi closed interval, then these two intervals are also bounded since they have maximum element in that interval and they have also have a minimum element in that interval, so its length is also a difference between its endpoint B minus A, B minus A. Now if we consider any unbounded interval, so if we consider closed A to infinity, then this interval does not have upper bound, so its length is infinity because length of unbounded interval is infinity. Now what is the length of singleton? Length of singleton is 0. Why this length is 0? Because we know that any singleton we can write it as closed interval xx, right? So length of singleton x is equal to length of this closed interval xx, and we know that length of any closed bounded interval is difference between its endpoints. So length of closed xx is 0, therefore length of singleton x is 0, and thus we say that length of any singleton is 0. So length of singleton is 0 since singleton x can be written as of the form closed interval xx and its length is 0. Now next we will see the definition, and which is definition of length of set. So what is the length of set? So let A be a set of real numbers, then consider the countable collection of non-empty open bounded intervals ik that covers A, that is A is a subset of union of ik. Then length of A is equal to sum of length of each of these interval. That is, what is the length of any set? So if we consider any countable open bounded interval that covers ik, that is ik is a finite open covering for A and each ik have a different length, then length of set A is equal to sum of length of each interval. So So length of A is equal to length of I1 plus length of I2 plus length of I3 up to so on till when we have the complete covering of IK. Now next we will see the definition of outer measure. So what is outer measure? So we define outer measure on a set A denoted by M star A or M bar A as outer measure of A is infimum among sum of length of IK, where what is IK? IK is open finite covering for A. Therefore, what is infimum? Infimum means we take greatest lower bound. So outer measure of A is equal to greatest lower bound among sum of length of IK, where IK are the intervals which covers A. Now next we will see some remarks. So the first is a remark which is a statement of Hine-Borel theorem. So what it states, any collection of open intervals covering closed AB has a finite subcollection that also covers closed AB. That is, if IK, where k varies from 1 to infinity, covers closed AB, then IK, where k varies from 1 to n, some finite IK are also covers closed AB if there are some infinite coverings. So Hine-Borel's theorem state that if closed AB has a collection of open intervals covering closed AB, then there is some finite subcollection which also covers closed AB. Now the second remark is outer measure of any set is greater equal 0. Why this outer measure is greater equal 0? Because outer measure is a dimension, that is it may be length or area, and we know that length or area are always positive, so outer measure of A is always greater equal 0. Now the third remark is outer measure of phi is 0. Why this outer measure of phi is 0? If we have phi, then we have nothing. And what is the covering for phi? So phi covers itself. So phi is a covering for phi. And what is the infimum among sum of length of phi? Length of phi is 0, because it never negative, it never positive, so it must be 0, and therefore infimum among sum of length of phi is 0, and therefore outer measure is also equal to 0, since by definition. What is outer measure of singletons? So outer measure of singletons, so for we know that outer measure equal to infimum of sum of length of intervals IK, where IK covers that interval, sorry, that set A. Here we have A is equal to singleton X. So what is cover for singleton X? So we know that singleton X covers itself. So singleton X has a IK equal to singleton X, which is a cover for itself, and therefore infimum of length of IK, what is IK? IK is singleton X, and what is the length of singleton X? Singletons has a length 0, as we see previously, and therefore outer measure of A is equal to sum of length of singleton, but length of singleton is 0 and its infimum is also 0, so outer measure is equal to 0, and therefore outer measure of singleton is 0. Now we are going to see some examples. So take example number 1. So example 1, what is this example gives? This example says that if A is subset of B, then prove that outer measure of A is less equal outer measure of B, and this property is called monotone property of outer measure. So what is monotone property? Monotone property states that if A is subset of B, then the relation between its outer measure of A is less than or equal to outer measure of B. So to prove this result, we have given that A is subset of B, and we have to prove the relation between its outer measure. So outer measure, we should think about its open covering. So we see that if A is subset of B, then any covering of set which covers set B is also covers set A. That is, any cover of set B also covers set A, since they are subset. And therefore, so what is the relation between sum of these intervals which covers A and B? So it is directly, trivially we say that the outer measure of A is less equal outer measure of B, because the infimum of sum of length of ik, where ik covers B, are always greater than or equal to infimum of sum of length of ik, where ik covers A, because A is subset of B. So we directly say that outer measure is less equal outer measure of B. Now next we will see the example 2. So if A is countable, then prove that outer measure of A is equal to 0. So what we have to prove? For any countable set, its outer measure is 0. So how will we prove outer measure for a countable set is 0? So let A be a countable set. As A is countable set, we can write A as A is equal to union of AI, where I varies from 1 to infinity, which is countable union of singleton set. So which is countable union of singleton set. So what we do, we can split this A into a smaller subset AI, that is A is equal to some A1 union A2 union A3 and so on, where each of the AI is a singleton set, and we know that singletons are countable. So singletons are countable means their union of countable set is countable, gives us union of that singletons are also countable, which means that this union of AI forms a covering for A, and therefore outer measure of A is equal to infimum of sum of length of ik, where k varies from 1 to infinity. And what is ik? Ik is here singletons, so which is infimum of sum of length of AI, where k varies from 1 to infinity. And what is length of singletons? Length of singletons are 0, so their sum is also 0 plus 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, and infimum is also equal to 0, which implies that outer measure of A is equal to 0, and thus we say that for any countable sets its outer measure is 0. Now from the next lecture we will see the different properties of outer measure.